Carson Wentz suffered a dislocated shoulder and played through 2 more games. Fractured shoulder socket and torn labrum. Left shoulder, not throwing shoulder. Here's Carson Wentz when he met with reporters on Wednesday. If any part of him thought he should have been taken out of action, and specifically last Thursday night when anytime anyone even grazed his left arm, he was in intense and obvious agony. Here he is from yesterday.
Truthfully, no. I appreciate that everyone was checking on me and all this stuff. At the end of the day, coaches, trainers, no one really knows the level of pain or difficulty that I may be feeling, and I know TV copies can show stuff that people on the sidelines don't see, but I never once felt unsafe. I never felt I've said it a bunch, it's just pain. It's pain, it's discomfort. I knew surgery was coming. I knew it needed to be fixed. So it was like, I don't want to come out of this game as uncomfortable as this is. This isn't my first rodeo. I'm not an idiot. I know what I was signing up for going out there. Nobody was forcing me, pressuring me, any of those things. Anybody in this building, everybody's handled this tremendously. The communication's been phenomenal from coaches, trainers, all the things. And so knew what we were doing all along.
Yeah, look, he's an adult. He wasn't forced to keep playing. And they could have gone to Max Brosmer, see what Max Brosmer has. They apparently like him. I don't know if they were trying to save him from a similar fate. Now, it was the offensive line's fault, Carson Wentz. And I talked to him after the game when he suffered that injury. He was trying to get a first down. He had 2 Browns players closing in on him, and he was not realistic about his physical abilities. He wasn't going to get there. He tried to plow through them, and that's how he got the injury. And it looked like he was coming out of the game and staying out of the game when that game went to halftime back in week 5. He ended up finishing the game. They ended up winning, and it's courageous to play through that kind of pain. And I don't buy the idea that they were clueless about the pain he was going through. I mean, someone in the building is seeing the feed from Prime Video. Coaches are up in the booth watching what's happening. I mean, he was in obvious distress anytime his arm got hit. And then by the time he get to the sideline, he was fine. Well, maybe it's like if you stub your toe, it hurts like hell for a little while, and then it stops. You bang your knee, your shin. You ever bang your shin against something? Hurts like hell, and then it stops. But I admire him for playing as long as he could. And from his perspective, 10 years into his career, waited the entire offseason. The Vikings brought him in late August after they trimmed the rosters to 53. It was his last chance. This is it. I'm moving on after this. Football's over. This is the end. Do we really think we're going to see Carson Wentz again in a starting role or any role? The fact that he was the week in and week out starter for the Vikings, that just happened because he went to a place where the guy got injured and he happened to be the number 2 quarterback. So I admire the fact that he fought through it. And yeah, at some point, maybe take him out of the game, but it wasn't just because he was banged up. It's because he's banged up and he's not really playing all that well. It's different if he's like throwing piss missiles all over the place and running the ball 30 yards and the Vikings are winning the game. The Vikings were getting stomped. So yeah, he's in obvious distress and you're getting the shit beat out of you. Sorry, Kristen. Let's get this guy off the field. Let's see what Max Brosmer can do. So now we're going to see what J.J. McCarthy can do. And again, we need to be realistic. The Vikings need to be realistic about their assessment of J.J. McCarthy. And I think at the end of this season, they need to make a decision. Do we move on from McCarthy as the starter and bring in a Daniel Jones type of, hey, Daniel Jones only has a 1-year contract with the Colts. Maybe Daniel Jones comes back next year. I would assume that the Colts would use the franchise tag on Daniel Jones, but who knows? Who knows? I would also expect at some point before the end of the season, there will be a new contract for Daniel Jones. Probably a bye-week thing, like we saw with Aiden Hutchinson. I have a feeling Daniel Jones is not going to stop being Indiana Jones anytime soon.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.